Welcome and let your journey to soul expansion begin. I'm your host, Kristen Kaczynski. This show will take you on a journey of expansion, encouraging you to release the limitations of your mind and lean into the wisdom of your soul. Remembering who you are on a soul level will help you release your conditioning, expectations, limiting beliefs, fears, and worries, and evoke a life expanded by your energetic alignment. Whether you're an entrepreneur who wants to grow your income and impact, or someone who knows in your heart of hearts that you're made for more, this podcast will help you awaken the power that's already inside of you, allowing you to attract an easy flow of money, clients, opportunities, and fulfillment. In each episode, you'll learn something new, expand your consciousness, and you'll walk away with a glimpse of what's truly possible for you. If you're ready to follow your soul's calling and live a more expansive life, you're in the right place. Welcome, and let your journey to soul expansion begin.
Hello! I wanted to talk about some millionaire mindset shifts that you can start to make for 2022. I kind of started talking about this in my stories, but it felt too potent and too powerful and too important to leave it at the 15-second story clips, right? So I really wanted to go live and take you deeper on the topic of achieving your 2022 goals and shifting into this mindset of the millionaire version of you. So if you want to grab a pen and paper, your journal or whatever, I am going to be giving you some journal prompts. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do when thinking about your 2022 goals is being brutally honest with yourself about what is required of you in order to achieve those goals. So oftentimes, especially as spiritual women, sometimes we can fall into the trap of setting the intention and relying too much on the other side of the equation, so too much on the universe, in order for that manifestation to come through. So much so that we forget to do our inner work, we forget to align our energy, or maybe we do those things, but then we don't take the aligned action. And so I want you to get really, really crystal clear and honest with yourself. If you're wanting to increase your income in 2022, which who doesn't want to do that? I'm pretty sure we all want to do that. What are you going to have to step into? What are you going to have to let go of? And what growth edges do you need to explore? So if you let's just say you made 50K in 2021 cash collected in your business and you're wanting to shift it to 100 or 200K in 2022, what got you to 50K is not going to be the same thing that's going to help you elevate to that next level. If you keep doing the exact same things you did this year, even if you do them better, there's going to be some parts of that, some aspects of that are not going to translate to a higher income level. When we're elevating to a new income level, we're actually elevating our state of being. We're elevating our energy, we're elevating our belief system, our vibration. And yes, sometimes we have to do the systems and the strategies along with that, especially if you're going from like a one-to-one coaching model to more of a scaling model. So yes, there's the strategy part, there's the doing part, and there's all of the inner work part. And so get really honest with yourself about what's no longer serving you from 2021. And maybe it worked to get you to 50K, but it's not going to get you to 100K, 200K, or $1 million if that's something that you're striving for in 2022. Some examples of things to explore. Doing everything yourself, right? Like, is it time to delegate? Is it time to hire a team? Or doing it all on yourself from the standpoint of like, you don't have a mentor. Maybe it's time to get a mentor to push you, challenge you, and help you evolve faster. Maybe it's boundaries. Maybe you've lacked boundaries in your business and in your life. Maybe it's, having these really long periods where you kind of like get into a dip mentally and energetically. And maybe your next step in 2022 is stepping into this energy of quick recoveries, right? Quick recoveries are so fucking important in business. So those are just some examples of things that you might need to embody this year in order to elevate your income. But that first one is getting really brutally honest with yourself about what's going to be required of you to make your goals happen. The universe is going to do its thing. Of course, we're supported. We're always provided for. And you have a role. So getting really clear about what your role is when it comes to your goals. Okay, the second thing I wanted to talk about was being in your comfort zone versus exploring growth edges. So looking at what you made in 2021 versus what you want to make in 2022, if there's a big jump, like let's say there's more than a $20,000 jump between 2021 and 2022. If you want to make more than $20,000 more than what you made last year, I'm going to guess that you're going to have to go through quite a lot of growth in order to make that happen, depending on where you're at. If you're already making $1 million, maybe not. But if you're making like 50 to 100K, and you're expanding beyond, 70 to 120K, then yes, you're going to have to come up against some growth edges. So what tends to happen with New Year's resolutions or business financial goals is in the beginning, we start off with a lot of momentum. We go, we get excited, we get, lit up about our goals, and that's amazing. But what tends to happen over time, if it takes too long or if we don't see the evidence that it's working, is our energy dips. And every time our energy dips, that causes us to shift out of alignment with the desire that we proclaimed January 1st or at the beginning of the year. And so quick recoveries is something I mentioned before that's so important with this, but also knowing when you're noticing that it's not happening and you're reverting back to your comfort zone, because that happens a lot with manifestation, right? And with goal setting. If we don't see quick enough results that things are working in our favor, then we get discouraged, we get disappointed. Maybe we talk ourselves into a smaller financial goal because really proclaiming that you want to make 500K or $1 million this year feels too scary, or it feels like if you didn't get it, then you would be disappointed. So maybe it's better to not actually claim it. Maybe it's better to lower your goal, right? But I'm challenging you to get out of that vibration. Get out of the vibration that you don't get what you asked for. You have to settle for something less. Let's step in. Let's agree right now on this live. Let's step into the vibration of I always get what I want, even if it's like batshit crazy for me to ask for it now. Like even if it makes no sense based on where I'm at now, I know I am worthy of receiving whatever income milestone I want to receive this year. And I know it's going to take magic miracles, the universe, it's going to take a lot of me, but I also know that it's going to happen and I am not willing to settle. I am not willing to compromise. This is the vibration of a millionaire woman, right? When we settle, when we compromise, when we lower what we want because we don't want to risk disappointing ourselves or risk the embarrassment of not making our goal happen, and having to share that with our audience, right? Like when we get into these lower states of lowering what we want, we're actually saying we're not worthy of the bigger thing that we asked for. And then of course it's not going to manifest, right? So much of manifestation is holding an unwavering vision of what it is you asked for. And despite whatever bullshit comes into your life between the point of asking and the point of receiving, that gap between asking and receiving, your job is to keep moving forward and to hold that unwavering belief. So what does that require of you? That requires you to grow a lot. That requires you to grow a lot. And so if you really truly want to expand your income this year, I'm challenging you to get yourself into a container that will cause you to come up against your growth edges, not when you think of it, not when it's convenient, not when, you get that hit of inspiration and then it goes away for months on end, but will push you to be up against your growth edges every single month. That's how we quantum leap. Not in those hits of inspiration, but when we commit and when we put ourselves into an environment that's going to force us to rise to a new level, that's going to force us to come up against these growth edges. Otherwise, we're human beings and we've experienced a lot of things in our life that didn't work out. So as human beings who have been disappointed in the past, our default is to go back to our comfort zone or to go back to an older version of ourselves. That's our default. That's our standard. That's our normal. If we want to create a new default, where we keep stepping into this expansive version of ourselves, where we keep growing, where we keep creating things that we didn't think was possible for us, but we start to manifest at higher levels of receiving. If we want to shift into that energy, which is not normal for many of us, then we have to put ourselves into an environment that's going to lovingly force us to do that, right? And so your comfort zone or the things that you did in 2021 won't necessarily get you there. You have to put yourself into a new environment, possibly with a mentor, possibly in a container like Expansion Mastermind, where you absolutely will be pushed outside of your comfort zone in order to create that new reality. So that's the second thing I wanted to talk about. So the third thing that I want you to step into and embody in 2022, to embody this like wealthy, powerful millionaire woman, I want you to step into this I give permission to myself energy, not I ask the universe for permission. Right? So I want you to start permissioning yourself to want more, right? A lot of times as spiritual women, sometimes we're like, ooh, I don't know if that's in alignment. Maybe I should ask the universe to see if it's okay for me to want that thing, or maybe I should want something less than that thing. Have you found yourself in that space? I know you. I was you. Sometimes still I get in that energy too. So as spiritual women, sometimes we can unfortunately fall into the habit of thinking that the universe has to give us a sign that we're worthy of what we're asking for, right? Like how many of you have like thought about, taking a risk in your business or starting a new platform like YouTube or something, or maybe hiring a mentor or maybe hiring a team member, and you had all these thoughts about this new growth and expansion that you wanted to step into, that you desired in your heart, and you asked for a sign, and maybe you didn't get one for like a really long ass time, right? If you've ever been in that situation, part of the reason why we don't get signs from that energy is because we don't believe we're worthy of them, right? And so what I want to challenge you to start doing is, instead of asking for signs before you start doing the work, start moving forward as if it's going to work out, and then look for the signs. So whether that's, let's say you're hiring a new team member, maybe you start putting it out there on your stories that you want to hire a VA, and you start asking people that maybe you might want to work with, right? You start asking them if they're available for a phone interview, and then look for the signs from that energy after you've started moving, after you've started acting on this intention that this is what I intend, this is what I desire. Same thing with hiring a mentor. If you thought about hiring a mentor, instead of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the universe to like roll out a red carpet for you to know that it's okay for you to get that type of support, instead ask the mentor, hey, what's the pricing? Hey, tell me a bit more about this program. I'm interested in joining it. Is it right for me? Like, start that conversation, then look for the sign, right? But if you don't take any action whatsoever, you're not going to get a sign, because the universe is going to be like, well, I don't know if you really want it. I don't know if you really feel worthy of it. You're asking me if you can have it. You're asking for my permission. This is the universe, right? But that's not how it works. We have to give ourselves permission to want our desires. So that's my third tip for you for Millionaire Mindset Shifts, is to start permissioning yourself, start claiming your desires, start moving on them, and then look for the signs if that's something that you typically do. Don't look for the signs before you even start, because you'll be waiting a long ass time.
So we're always evolving, we're always pivoting in business, right? And as I was reviewing toward the end of 2021, the direction that my business was going in, I started to realize that one of my signature programs, my signature group program, Divine Feminine Sales, which I'm sure you've heard of before if you've been a longtime listener of the podcast, wasn't living up to the new standard of my coaching. And so it needed a rebrand, it needed a revamp, because it's no longer just about shifting into your divine feminine energy in order to attract soulmate clients. It's so much bigger than that. I've really honed in on the 4 things that have led to my fun, flowy, prosperous business, as you heard me talk about on a previous episode. And those 4 keys, those 4 cornerstones of my coaching are awakening, healing, aligned action, and intentional manifestation. These 4 things have endlessly served me in growing my business without, being in this hustle or struggling or suffering state, but being able to attract more and more income, more and more impact, while also experiencing more and more joy, more and more fulfillment, more and more, excitement and celebration, and being able to really treat myself like royalty all throughout the process of growing my business. And that's kind of like a radical thing to say, right? Like, you get to treat yourself like royalty now. You don't have to wait until you make 6 figures or 7 figures or whatever it is. Like, I always say to myself now, one of my new mottos is I serve my clients best from an overflowing cup. So I have to make sure that I'm filling myself up so much that I'm like bursting with this overflowing ability to hold space and to serve and to educate and to be there for my clients. I can't do it. I refuse to do it from a state of not enough. I am just no longer available for that. And so with Divine Feminine Sales, what we're changing is we're with these 4 cornerstones of awakening, healing, aligned action, and intentional manifestation. We're actually taking that under the brand name Soul Expansion. So you guys know about Soul Expansion membership. Obviously, you know about the Soul Expansion podcast. Well, Divine Feminine Sales, as part of our rebrand, is going to be called Soul Expansion Coaching. So we're, of course, still putting the pieces in place in the back end. But for now, if you're interested in getting more support from me, you can still head to divinefemininesales.com, and you'll notice that we're starting to shift the branding there. And then eventually we'll have a new URL for you. But what Soul Expansion Coaching is it actually includes everything inside Soul Expansion membership, which is why we're bringing it all under one brand name. But it has even more support from me, even more access, and a brand new 2.0 core curriculum all about the 4 cornerstones that have led me here. So the awakening, the healing, the aligned action, and the intentional manifestation. So we're expanding way, way, way beyond just shifting into your divine feminine energy and the strategic components that go along with it. And we're making it this program that will serve you anywhere from 0 to, consistent 10K months is kind of like the energy behind this program. But it could also serve you if you're making more than 10K, but you feel like you're in this state of having to work for it, having to hustle and struggle and force your way to get to your income goal. This program is really designed to allow you to bring in more ease, flow, and alignment into your business, no matter where you're at in terms of income. So you can find out more at divinefemininesales.com. We'll have a new URL for you, in a couple months when we finish the rebrand. But get signed up now because we're already dripping out the content. People are already loving the changes, and we would love to see you inside. Again, it's divinefemininesales.com, and let's get back to the show.
Okay. 4th thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to millionaire mindset shifts for 2022 is you are worthy of support and community, right? Like, it takes a fucking village to build a millionaire woman. How many of you have a community of some kind that you're a part of? How many of you have a team member or someone that's supporting you in your business? How many of you have a mentor? I want you to really own the fact that you are worthy of that support and allow yourself to receive it, right? Like, millionaire women do not do all the things themselves. They don't feel a need to prove it that they can do it all themselves. They don't want to do it all themselves. They delegate that shit. They get support with that shit. They want to get there faster, easier, and with less of a headache, right? Millionaire women operate from abundance. Like, I absolutely can have this support if I want it. And they operate from convenience, like what feels good to them, right? When you're stepping into your millionaire self, start to play with and embody these energies. If you believed that there was unlimited abundance and you were always provided for, what would you do? What type of support would you get? How would you go about your business? What new risks would you take? How would you put yourself out there to be seen in a bigger and bolder way, right? Like, as you start to really embody this energy of like, I can't fuck it up. There's unlimited abundance out there for me. My heart's desire is leading me to this thing. Well, then you start to collapse time and build momentum because you're stepping into that millionaire version of you who truly believes in unlimited abundance and who truly allows herself to be supported, right? Amanda Francis has this affirmation that money exists to support me. So I want you to think of that whenever you're thinking of making a new investment or taking a new business risk. How would you operate if money existed to support you, right? And if these programs that you're considering existed to support you, you aren't here to do it all alone. It really does take a village. I have a mentor. I'm part of a mastermind. I have a full service agency that works for me. I also, have my husband. I also have my family. I also have my puppies, right? I have friends that don't work in business. I have friends that do work in business, right? And so it's really expanding your network and expanding the amount of support that you allow your system to receive. Because if you try to hold up your business, here's the golden nugget right here. If you're trying to hold up your business all on your own, there is absolutely an income cap with that. If you're trying to hold up your entire business all by yourself, even if you have a VA, even if you have a mentor, even if you have whatever, but if you're putting so much pressure on yourself to hold it all up, even if you have support, or definitely if you don't have support, then there's absolutely an income cap there. So if you want to start stepping into an uncapped income, you got to get really comfortable with allowing yourself to receive support. You got to get really comfortable with delegating. You got to get really comfortable with, paying for something that's going to make things easier, faster, and less of a headache for you. That's how we start to shift into new energies of wealth, new energies of abundance. Millionaire woman is when we allow ourselves to be held and supported by our money and by the things that are going to support us in scaling to our next level. So, number 5. If your desire, your income goal for 2022, other business goals, personal life goals, whatever your desires are for 2022, if they come from your heart, right? Like if you can feel, you can kind of sense, this is a heart-led desire. This lights my heart up. I can feel that this feels really good in my heart space. Or this is a desire I can't get off my mind. Maybe if you're not as connected to your body, that might be another indicator. I can't get this desire out of my head. I keep thinking about these other things, like these other income goals that maybe I would like more, but I keep coming back to this one goal. For me, it's $1 million in 2022. And I'm going to be real honest with you. That's a big fucking quantum leap. If you looked at my business the past 2 years, you might say, I don't know if that's realistic, Kristen, but I'm here to say, I don't care. That's what I desire, and I'm not willing to settle for anything less. And yeah, it's a quantum leap. Yeah, it's going to require me to really fucking grow and expand and to challenge and to evolve and to push myself. And I'm going to do my part. And then I'm also going to trust that there's something bigger than me guiding me to this $1 million. Because otherwise, if I wanted something less than that, that would be the number I would keep coming back to. But I don't. I don't want 500K, even though I haven't reached that yet in my business. I don't want it. I want $1 million. Right? And I was like that when I, reached my first 10K month. I didn't want a 5K month. I never wanted a 5K month. I only wanted the 10K. And so I actually skipped 5K and went right to 10K. And so trust if there's a number that you can't get out of your head or you can't get out of your heart, even if it feels scary, even if it feels unrealistic, even if it feels crazy and like there's no fucking way you can do it this year. Trust that if it's something you can't get out of your head, it's meant for you. It's a desire that was placed in your heart by the universe or by God or by your higher self, and it's meant for you. And so if you feel like you know what that number is, you know what that financial milestone is, I want you to decide and declare right now, I want you to own it. I want you to claim it as yours. I want you to decide that it's done. Not that it's even in progress, but that it's done as of this moment at 12:33 Central U.S. time zone on January whatever. I think it's the 10th? I want you to declare as of right now that it is already done. And there's no possible way you can fuck it up as long as you keep moving, keep growing, keep challenging yourself, and keep holding that unwavering vision. Okay, so that was number 5. What is my next millionaire mindset shift? Okay, if you were operating, this is manifestation right here. So if you want to journal as I'm speaking this out, I encourage you to do so. Or if you want to wait for the replay to come back to that, that's totally fine too. Okay, so if you were operating from limitless abundance, what would you do differently this year? What would you do differently today? What would you do differently this week and this month, this year? And notice too, where are you making decisions from that are based on a past version of you, or are based on the old you from 2021, or are based on scarcity, or are based on that one time that you fucked up a launch and it was really embarrassing and now you're afraid to be seen? Are you still making decisions from that energy? Or are you willing to step into a new energy to start making business decisions, to start showing up in a new space and a new energy and a new vibration? And, if you do notice that you're still making decisions from a past version of you or a scarcity driven version of you, what I want to challenge you to do is to choose a new energy to operate from. So if you notice you're really stuck in the scarcity, what is one little belief shift that you can make today and you can really work to practice and affirm and embody to shift you more toward that millionaire version of you? And if you actually already were, and if this you want to journal, or let's even do like a little visualization here. So if you're here with me live and you're not driving or operating heavy machinery, go ahead and if it feels good for you, close your eyes. And let's take a deep breath. We're going to do a little millionaire visualization. Good. And just kind of like notice what your butt is sitting on, just noticing your body. And if eyes are already shut, what I want you to do now is I want you to jump ahead on your personal timeline to the moment where you become a millionaire. And you can do this simply by intending it. And it's also okay if you don't see or hear or know anything. But if you feel like you're in the right spot in your mind's eye, that's perfectly fine. And so now you're in the energy, you're in the vibration, you're in the space of the moment where you're already a millionaire, where it's already done, complete. And you know for sure that you didn't fuck it up. You know for sure that you made the right choices, that you trusted yourself. You know for sure that you invested in the right things. You know for sure that you were held and supported and guided. And you know for sure that even though you doubted yourself along the way, it still fucking happened because you are worthy of it. Even though you're completely flawed and a human being, you still got to have what you wanted. And so when you're in that energy, and if you're watching the replay, you can always place me on pause. But when you're in that energy of being a millionaire now, where it's already done, and if you can even like feel that vibrating in your body, what it'll feel like when it's already done, what I want you to do now is, ask yourself, what should I be doing? What do I want to be doing? How do I feel? What do I know to be true? Right? We want to step out of this old vibration of not enough. We want to step out of this old vibration of business programs never work for me. We want to step out of this old vibration of like everyone else gets to be successful but not me. We want to step out of this old vibration of, everything I invest in just turns to shit, right? That's not what the millionaire version of you believes. The millionaire version of you trusts herself. She trusts money. She knows she can't fuck it up no matter what. She knows she's supported by the universe. And so what would you do in business and life if that was your truth, if that was something you could embody? How would you feel? So this is something I want you to step into all throughout the year. Every single day, every single morning, take a couple seconds, pull up this live video, do it again, right? Because when we're trying to step into a quantum leap financial goal, whether it's $1 million or $100K or whatever it is for you, we have to put ourselves in the vibration of having it now. We can't keep operating from not enough or 2021 version of you, or if you're scaling to $1 million, six-figure version of you, right? Like the six-figure version of you doesn't know how to make $1 million. The 50K version of you from 2021 doesn't know how to make 100K this year. We have to start pulling the rubber band of our energy toward the future. We have to start embodying the energy of our millionaire selves or our six-figure selves, whatever that may be for you. And so anytime you're feeling down, anytime you're feeling lost, anytime you're feeling stuck, I want you to come back to this visualization of where whatever goal it is, it's already done and you didn't fuck it up. And you trusted yourself and you made the right moves, made the right investments, and everything worked out perfectly for you. It was unexpected. It was crazy. There was definitely magic and miracles involved, but it definitely fucking worked out for you and you couldn't fuck it up no matter what. Come back to that space and then make a new choice. Instead of going back to the old you who believes in scarcity, who believes nothing ever works for her, who believes that money is always running out, who believes that she's not worthy. We don't need to step into that energy anymore. Right? Like 2022, let's declare we're not available for that anymore. We don't need it. We don't want it. That's not us. And the truth is it's not you, right? The true version of you, like the true you that exists, is the infinite one. That's the truth. Infinite abundance is your truth. That's why you want it so bad. You're like looking at the scarcity that you've been conditioned to believe in and you're like, I don't want this. That's because the real you knows that abundance is infinite and limitless, and you have the capacity to manifest anything you want. So I challenge you this year to step into that new energy of the millionaire version of you who believes in infinite abundance and believes she can't fuck it up no matter what. Every single time you're down, every single time you feel like you're not aligned, every single time you feel like you're lost, every single time you're looking at your money and you're like, oh, this is not what I want. Instead of fixating and ruminating and focusing so much on what you don't want, step into that new energy again, and then make a new choice. Step into that new energy again, and then start over, right? Step into that new energy again, and then take that risk and be seen in that bigger way. That's the only way we start to grow. That's the only way we start to get a new reality, is if we pull ourselves toward that new energy that we want to embody. I know you guys have questions. Please drop them in the comments. Okay, so that was point number 6. And again, there's a part 1. If you missed it, go to my profile. Point number 7. Okay, so this is when we got to be real honest with ourselves. If you're not a millionaire yet, you don't know how to be a millionaire. I'm just going to say it. If you're not a 6-figure entrepreneur yet, you don't know how to be a 6-figure entrepreneur. And that's not a bad thing. That's not like a failing that you have. It's just the truth. You've never done it before. And so what I want to impress upon you is this: mentorship is the shortcut. Always has been, always will be. There's a reason why I'm still with my mentor. There's a reason why I'm still part of a mastermind with other women who challenge me to grow and expand and to elevate myself. If you've witnessed any growth in me over the past 2.5 years of my business, that growth came from mentorship. That growth didn't come from, journaling by myself, right? It came from someone else witnessing my unconscious patterns. It came from someone else calling me on my bullshit. It came from someone else reminding me of how fucking powerful I am. It came from someone else helping me heal my childhood patterns that caused me to believe that I wasn't worthy, or that I wasn't good enough, or that, no one would choose me over some other coach, right? Like, a lot of these limiting beliefs that we have come from childhood. And so if you don't allow yourself to have that mirror of a mentor, if you don't allow yourself to have a coach to call you on these things, to witness them in you, and to be that mirror for you to reflect back, hey, I'm noticing this. Can we explore this a little deeper? Or, hey, this limiting belief you have, is there another time that you felt this way? Let's go deeper into your body and see if we can do some somatic healing around this, right? If you don't have a coach or mentor, you are doing it all on your own. And the truth is, you don't know how to get to that financial goal you're asking for if you've never hit it before. And so it's not always popular, but it's necessary to hire a mentor if you want to elevate yourself in some way. And I don't mean necessarily that you need someone who has a certain, income level that you want, or you need someone who has certain things that you want. Those things definitely help. I think it helps to hire someone who is living the lifestyle that you want. And also, it's important to know, you can't be your own coach, right? I am a really good facilitator, and I've actually worked with people who make more money than me, right? That's true. You can also work with someone who maybe doesn't make as much money as you, but is really fucking good at facilitating, right? I've worked with people who made $500K last year, and I didn't make that much. So I'm a really good facilitator. And despite that, right, I am a really good facilitator, but despite that, I can't be my own facilitator. That is a fucking fact. I cannot be my own facilitator. Why? I can't see my own bullshit. I can't see my own limiting beliefs. I can't see my own unconscious patterns. I'm really highly skilled and trained in seeing those things in other people, but I honestly just can't fucking do it for myself. Even though, despite my best efforts, I fucking tried to be my own coach. I can't do it, right? And so I'm not saying that having a coach is required, but I am saying it's the shortcut, right? So if you can't afford a coach right now, okay, fine. Maybe join a membership community. Join some other community where you are going to get support. I have Soul Expansion membership. It's $111 per month. And you get a live call with me every single month, right? $111 per month. A lot of people should be able to afford that. And if not, let's chat. Maybe I can get you on a sliding scale spot. But it's not necessarily about you must have a coach, but it is about, if you want the shortcut, if you want to quantum leap, if you want to get there faster, if you want to elevate into an income level that you have no fucking clue how on earth you're going to get there, then yeah, you should probably hire a mentor. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay. So Janae said, working on being able to afford a constant mentor. Yeah, and it's not even necessarily about constant, but it's about regular mentorship, right? I've had little gaps in mentorship, but if it's been let's say it's been 6 months and you're noticing you're stuck in the same patterns, okay, that's a cue to me, okay, time for another mentor. If it's been 90 days and you're still integrating and embodying things you learned, okay, sit with that a little while longer. And then when you feel like you're getting stuck again, hire another mentor. But I will say, I've taken one gap from mentorship last year. So in 2020, I took a gap from mentorship to work on my certifications. And when I took that gap, it was really empowering because I learned how to hold myself in a lot of things. And by the end of it, I still wanted another mentor, not because I felt disempowered or like I didn't know anything, but because I knew that was the shortcut and I knew that was going to help me grow faster. And so it's not that you can't grow without a mentor. That's not what I'm saying at all, right? Like you can grow through my podcast. You can grow through my membership. That's $111 per month. I have people in there who are signing clients from that membership, right? So you can grow from lower cost offers. Absolutely. If you're willing to do the work and hold yourself accountable, absolutely. You can grow without having to spend thousands, but you have to be really committed, right? What I am saying is if you want the quantum leap, if you want the shortcut, if you want to get there faster, if you want to like 10x or even 5x your income, highly recommend a mentor. Because if you've never been at that level of wealth, if you've never had to embody those energies that are happening at that level of wealth and income, then it could be really fucking helpful to have someone to take you by the hand and guide you to it. And for me, that program is Expansion Mastermind. That's the program I offer that is enrolling now. And if you've been liking anything I've been saying on this, and if you've been fired up and feeling like I'm ready to fucking declare multi-six or seven figures for 2022, and you're ready to actually invest in yourself and to be part of a community of strong, powerful women who are doing the things that you want to do, who are embodying the energies that you want to step into, get an Expansion Mastermind. We are doing healing. We're doing masterclasses. We're doing one-on-one calls, one-on-one Boxer access to me. You get so much fucking support. It's like one-on-one coaching, but you're also surrounded with a bunch of really cool fucking women. So it's like even better than one-on-one coaching, in my opinion. And I always join masterminds for that reason. I like having other people there to bounce ideas off of, and to kind of like see how they speak about things and see how they do things differently in their businesses. So if you have been enjoying this live and you want to start moving quickly toward your goals and stop sitting in your comfort zone, you're ready to explore your growth edges. You're ready to declare and claim your desires and know that you're fucking worthy of them because you are. Join Expansion Mastermind. And what I will say is this: if you have some fear, but it still feels like a yes, let's chat and I can give you some journal prompts to work through that fear. And then if at the end of the journal prompt, you still decide, no, I don't want to join, okay, cool. No big deal. There's always someone else out there, right? Like I believe in unlimited abundance. So that's something I want to encourage you to do if you've been liking my content and especially this live. And if you have any questions about any of my programs, including Soul Expansion Membership, again, that's only $111 per month. Just hit me up in the DMs. I am always so happy to hear from you guys. And I hope you love this. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you for honoring your soul's calling today and taking the time to listen to this episode of the Soul Expansion Podcast. If you have a question you'd like featured or have a topic idea, I would love to hear from you. Find me on Instagram at Kristen Kaczynski and send me a DM with your request. Remember, you are a truly limitless being. The limits you see now are only an illusion. Whatever it is that you desire, that's already yours. It already exists in the universe here and now. You simply have to awaken to what you already have. And I hope this episode brought you a little closer to that truth. If you love this episode and would like to give from your heart and appreciation, please take a few moments to screenshot it and tag me in your stories on Instagram, or write a brief review on your favorite podcast platform. Your voice truly matters, and your feedback helps to spread abundant expansion to a broader audience. And what a gift that is, right? Just think about how much abundance will come back to you if you help a friend experience their own soul expansion. And with that, I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, I'm Kristen Kaczynski, and I love you.